Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, it is KingNido here and we are continuing round 2 today as the Goldenrod Aces, coming off a loss in that first round, are going to want to look to amend that as they take on the Motorstoke Engines, who are coming off a victory and they are currently sitting in 8th place as well. The Engines have the speed advantage, but will that come in favour as the health advantage hugely goes to the Aces? Let us know who you think will win.
3, 2, 1, go!
I cannot wait for this one. Both these sides having a lot to prove. It will be Charizard and Cinderace, the two Fire-type starters starting out for the Motorstoke Engines. And it will be Tauros and the Terastallizing Mismagius immediately losing that Ghost typing. It will change into the normal type, as will every Terastallizing Pokemon for each individual side. See if it has a positive impact in that matchup. It loses its immunity to normal type moves, but gains an immunity to Ghost types, as a Growl immediately from Cinderace lowers the attack of both Mismagius and Tauros. Tauros, though, does not care, going for the Hex onto Charizard, gets a little bit of damage done to the Fire Flying type, and a Shockwave from Mismagius onto Cinderace. Surely should have gone for Charizard to get that super effective hit, as Charizard with the Mud Shot will not affect Mismagius, who has that Levitate ability, which is fantastic, having two immunities. A Fury attack from Cinderace, this multi-hit move on the Raging Bull. It's got 3. See if it can get all 5. No, it only gets 3 on that multi-hit move. Tauros going to respond, going with the skill swap. It is going to give its Sheer Force ability to Charizard and its Blaze ability to Charizard's Blaze ability to itself. I think that just favored Charizard, as we get a Hydro Steam from Mismagius. This is going to be super effective on Cinderace, and Cinderace holds on from that massive hit. Double kick now from Charizard. This 2-hit connection will be super effective on Tauros. Fantastic damage there. Cinderace needs to go for something huge because it is an easy target. Going for the Shadows Think. This is not it, because it does not affect Mismagius anymore. It's no longer a Ghost type. We get a Torch Song from Tauros to finish the job. That not very effective attack will take out Cinderace, and Tauros gets a special attack boost as well. Grassy Terrain now being set up by Mismagius, surely trying to help out Tauros here, because it will not help itself with that Levitate ability, and Charizard, being a flying type, will not get the effects. But a Hammer Arm from Charizard, and it is a one-hit wonder. Mismagius is taken out with that super effective move. Charizard immediately leveling the playing field with that attack. Both these sides already losing their first Pokemon, as Tauros has a little bit of health restored. And now the Engines send out their own Terrestrial Pokemon, Revavroom and Ursaluna, with its Unnerve ability making its debut for the Goldenrod Aces. But as you're going to see now, Revavroom losing that Poison Steel typing is now going to become a Fire type Pokemon. This Engine is burning up here on the field. And now Tauros, with the speed advantage, goes for the Astonish onto Charizard. A little bit of damage there to the Fire Flying type, as Revavroom with that Smackdown, laying that Smackdown onto Ursaluna. Unfortunately, it's not very effective. Ursaluna taking that hit. Charizard with a Dragon Claw, following up, doing some more damage to Ursaluna, who goes for the X-Scissor onto Charizard. Not very effective there with that Fire typing, with that Flying typing. And there is that Grassy Terrain benefiting the normal types yet again, as Tauros sets up for the Sky Attack. It becomes cloaked in that Harsh Light. This is a 2-turn move. We'll see that connect in the next turn, as Revavroom with the Growth is going to increase its physical stats here. Both, its offensive stats, both its attack and special attack. We get a Boom Burst from Charizard, and Tauros is eliminated. It will not finish off the Sky Attack. That hit everybody on the field. A Dragon Darts from Ursaluna, first onto Charizard, second onto Revavroom. Huge damage being doled out in this matchup already between these two sides. And Oinkologne, coming out now. Immediately hit with the Esper Wing from Revavroom. Revavroom getting a speed boost there. And Oinkologne, why am I struggling with that name? With the Lumina Crash onto Revavroom, almost gets the elimination, lowers its special defense. Ursaluna could take out Revavroom, but first, Stone Edge from Charizard onto Oinkologne. Huge hit. And a Crab Hammer from Ursaluna takes Revavroom out of this matchup. Already both these sides have lost 2 Pokemon each. Both of them have lost their Terrestrial Pokemon as well, as that Grassy Terrain restores the health of the normal types just a little bit more. And now out comes Typhlosion for the Motorstoke Engines, and immediately it goes for the Air Cutter here, hitting both normal type Pokemon. Great hit. Headlong Rush from Oinkologne will not affect Charizard. Surely should have gone for Typhlosion with that move. And an Ember from Charizard onto Oinkologne, getting that stab boost. Ursaluna with the Cotton Spore. This is going to lower that speed of Charizard and Typhlosion. See if Oinkologne can move faster, but first it is going to have its health restored yet again, as does Ursaluna, thanks to that grassy terrain, which will now disappear from the field. And Oinkologne is now the quickest on the field, going for the Nuzzle. Is going to leave Typhlosion with that paralysis, which means Ursaluna may be able to move faster, and that it does. Goes for the tearful look onto the Jotonian Fire Starter. The Motorstoke Engines using all their starter Pokemon here today, as we get a Screech from Charizard. This is going to greatly lower that defense stat of Oinkologne here, as Typhlosion could capitalize on it. Goes for the false swipe. It would not have finished the job. It is not a shiny Pokemon either. Oinkologne with the Absorb, not very effective there on a Typhlosion, gets a little bit of health back, which it needs every bit that it can get, as Ursaluna with the lock-on the Typhlosion. Let's see if it goes for a one-hit carry move in the following turn. It will want to go for one, surely, to take it out. But a Cross Poison takes Oinkologne out of this matchup. Thank you, I do not have to say that name now. As another Grassy Terrain is set up, this time by Typhlosion here. This will benefit Ursaluna. Again, Charizard will not be feeling the effects of this, so Ursaluna has its health restored, as does Typhlosion. And now out comes Pyroar, female Pyroar that is, who immediately goes for the tea time. Everyone on the field is going to eat up their berries as that Grassy Terrain continues to appear over the field. Everyone having their PP restored in this matchup, but this has actually been a very back and forth match so far. Both sides are holding their own here, as both these sides are very physical sides. We have 99 average attack across the side of the normal types, 96 across the fire types, as that double hit does huge damage to Typhlosion from Ursaluna. Charizard with the Heat Crash now won't be very effective no matter who it hits, and it goes for Ursaluna. Typhlosion unable to move due to its paralysis. That is fantastic for the aces, as Ursaluna has its health restored. I think it got more back than what Charizard took from it. And a Sweet Scent now being performed by Pyroar, who is the quickest Pokemon on the field at the moment, lowering the evasiveness a great deal of its fellow Fire-type Pokemon on the opposing side. A Splash from Ursaluna. Nothing happens, unfortunately, allowing Charizard to go for the Leer, looking to lower the defense of Pyroar here. It is successful. It's also going to lower it of Ursaluna. Typhlosion needs to go on the offensive. Goes for the Outrage now onto Pyroar. This will be a consecutive turn move. It will continue to do damage to the normal types as that Grassy Terrain continues to restore health. Pyroar with the flip turn. This will be super effective on Charizard, but Charizard holds on, similar to what Cinderace did earlier, but Pyroar goes back to the bench and out comes Slacking. We have Slacking and Ursaluna on the side of the Golden Aces, as Ursaluna with the Happy Hour. Surely it's happy with what's happening right now, but it is met with a Magma Storm from Charizard. Not very effective, but Ursaluna does become trapped in the swirling magma, and that Outrage continues from Typhlosion onto Slacking. Slacking taking some damage here, immediately having its health restored. The Slacking you do not want to take a physical hit from. 160 physical attack, but it does have that Truant ability as Ursaluna feels the effects of the Magma Storm. And now we get a Flare Blitz from Slacking, taking out Charizard with that not very effective attack, very similar to what happened to Cinderace earlier on here, which is great for the Golden Aces, as Slacking is hurt by the recoil damage. And we get a Wild Bolt Storm onto Typhlosion from Ursaluna. That would have hit Charizard as well, as Typhlosion continues its Outrage, continuing to go for Slacking, trying to cut down this mammoth of a Pokemon. It is huge. But now Typhlosion is confused due to the fatigue, as everyone has their health restored thanks to this Grassy Terrain that was set up yet a second time, and now it has disappeared from this matchup. And out comes Salazzle for the Motorstoke Engines, who immediately sets up a Misty Terrain, as that mist will swirl over the field. Slacking with that Truant ability, preventing it from going for a turn for a move this turn, sorry. It does loaf around and that move fails from Ursaluna Typhlosion. Confused, paralyzed, shakes it off though, goes for the payback, and it's continuing to go for Slacking. It wants this Pokemon off the field. Salazzle looking to follow up, goes for a lock on. We saw one of these earlier from Ursaluna. See if Salazzle could capitalize on it though. And now Slacking going for the Roar. This is going to send Typhlosion, I believe, yes, back to the bench. It's still in this matchup, but out comes Arcanine as the last Pokemon for the Motorstoke Engines. It's a 3 versus 3 matchup. Arcanine with that Intimidate ability lowers the attack stat versus Slacking and Ursaluna. And Ursaluna has 140 combined. That 160, 140, there's 300 combined attack between these two normal type Pokemon. That is terrifying. As we get a Spark from Salazzle, they are continuing to chop down Slacking on this matchup, who is loafing around, and we get a Dynamic Punch from Arcanine, but it is avoided by Slacking. That would have been super effective. Ursaluna with the Shell Smash, it is going to lower its defenses here, but boost its attack and speed a great deal. It is an easy target on the field right now, so that could be a great play to lower those defenses, because it doesn't really need them now. It needs that offense, but it needs to capitalize on it. It is now the quickest on the field, immediately going for the Psybeam onto Arcanine with that boosted special attack. Salazzle looking to respond for it, so, and this will be the third grassy terrain setup in this matchup. Everyone on the field will be restoring health in this grassy terrain as we get a Lash Out from Slacking onto Arcanine. Huge damage. Arcanine still holding on and is going to respond with the Water Shuriken onto Slacking. This multi-hit move, it wants to get all 5. It's got 2. It's got 3. It's got 4. And it only gets 4 of the 5 hit move. Ursaluna here having its health restored, as does Slacking, and Arcanine and Salazzle will have theirs restored. Sorry, Salazzle's at full strength. As we get another tea time in this matchup, these sides are holding their own against each other. As I said, it is a 3 versus 3 matchup right now. Both these sides, half their teams left, and we get our first time warning. We could potentially be going into overtime here, and if we do, the remaining Pokemon in the matchup will be restored to full strength, but Ursaluna will not be one of them, because that Petal Dance from Salazzle, super effective, takes out the normal ground type. Arcanine looking to follow up, goes for the Pin Missile, another multi-hit move, but Slacking able to avoid that attack. But as I said, if we go into overtime, any remaining Pokemon will be restored to full strength, and it will become a singles battle between those Pokemon. As the Petal Dance continues, this time onto Pyro, not very effective, but one more of them and Pyro will be eliminated. A Coil from Pyro is going to boost its attack here, as we get yet another time warning. Boost its defense, boost its accuracy. It wants to capitalize on that boosted accuracy and attack. A Will-O-Wisp from Slacking won't affect the fire type. Arcanine, who goes for a Swallow. It has nothing to eat though, it already ate its Leopard Berry. And there is that grassy terrain still continuing to restore health in this matchup. This has been a fantastic play by all these sides, but Salazzle with the Petal Dance, and now Slacking is all by itself because Pyro is eliminated. We may not be going to overtime after all, because the fire types are building some huge momentum. Salazzle has become confused due to fatigue, and Slacking is loafing around because of that Truant ability, and we get a Struggle Bug from Arcanine onto Slacking. It does have its special attack low. We are in the final seconds of regulation time in this matchup. Salazzle needs to shake off this confusion, and it is successful. It's going to go for the double edge. Huge hit there onto Slacking. Still in this matchup, Salazzle getting the recoil damage. Slacking going for the poison jab onto Arcanine. Arcanine's able to hold on, but it's going to go for the healing wish. It's going to take itself out of this matchup. It is going to restore all the status conditions and damage that's been done to Typhlosion when it comes out onto the field. But this will take us into overtime, so it doesn't even matter because Typhlosion would have been restored. That grassy terrain does disappear from the field. Here's Typhlosion coming out. It does feel the effects of the healing wish. This would have been a good play if there was still time in this matchup. But the regulation period of this matchup is over. It will be Salazzle and Typhlosion for the Motorstoke Engines going up against Slacking This could actually benefit Slacking. That Truant ability will hinder it, but these Pokemon will be restored back to full strength. And it's Typhlosion coming out for the Motorstoke engines, and it will be going up against Slacking in this single battle now. Remember, Salazzle is still in this matchup on the side of the Motorstoke engines. Slacking immediately with the stockpile is going to boost its defensive stats here. Both that defense and special defense, it will be able to take hits a lot better. Typhlosion though, with the Soak, immediately changes Slacking to a Water type. This could be a huge gamble here, because if Slacking goes for a Water type move, it will have that stab super effective boost over the Fire types. As Slacking's loafing around, and a Rock Polish by Typhlosion, boosting its speed greatly. This is fantastic because now Typhlosion gets another turn, goes for the bite. It could cause Slacking to flinch, but is able to shake it off. He goes for the Aurora Beam. This won't be very effective on the Typhlosion, but Typhlosion responds with its own Ice type move, going for the Frost Breath. Not very effective on the Water type Slacking, but it does get the critical hit. And Slacking is loafing around, so Typhlosion gets another opportunity, this time going for the X-Scissor, doing less damage, unfortunately, than what it did. We get an Ice Punch from Slacking, not very effective on Typhlosion. Gets an okay hit there, though, as we get a Magma Storm onto Slacking. Not only is it not very effective, but which is terrible for the engines, but it's great that it will do continuous damage to Slacking, who will be loafing around as well. I did get that stab boost as well. Poltergeist from Typhlosion is going to attack Slacking with its own Leopard Berry. Typhlosion's doing all the right things here. Slacking needs to go for something huge. Goes for the Jaw Lock. Typhlosion holds on though. Neither Pokemon can run away. And Slacking still feeling the effects of the Magma Storm. It needs to get Typhlosion off this field, but first Typhlosion is quicker. Goes for the cut, and it finishes off this huge Pokemon. It has cut down Slacking and gotten the victory for the Motorstoke engines in this huge back and forth matchup. Well done to the Fire types, and they're going to want to look to repeat that next round when they take on the Akala Capsules, whereas the normal types get their second loss in a row. They are not going to want to look to repeat that when they take on the Spikeman Suede Grunts next round. But our very next matchup will be the Glisado Nordics going up against the Saffron Powlings. I cannot wait for that matchup, but until then, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.